So my name's Jamie Hannaford. I'm a professional firefighter with the Calgary Fire Department. Been on the department for 18 years, and I've done a broad spectrum of stuff, everything from technical rescue to hazmat to regular fire services, as well as looked after running our federal and provincial disaster response teams. I've been diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and depression. And then last year in particular, I had to book off work for PTSD, and I went through a 6-month intensive sort of treatment program, working with a psychologist as well as an occupational therapist. I came to learn about the BOSS program through the Calgary Fire Department, more specifically the Calgary Firefighters Union, who had came out with this program. And of course, I was just finishing my treatment for PTSD, anxiety, and depression. I thought, this is a fantastic opportunity to go in and see what this program's about, because one of the failures that I thought was existing in emergency services was the failure to recognize stuff early. So what happened to me is, because I hit rock bottom and had to crawl from rock bottom back up, that was very difficult. We talk about it's a lot easier to lose 2 pounds than 100 pounds. And that's the same thing with mental health. I was so far down that journey back out was hard, because I was never taught to recognize stuff early in the process. What BOSS does, being before occupational stress, is helps you identify when you might be struggling early in the process, and then give you some of the tools to deal with that before you actually hit rock bottom. I think when I thought about the BOSS program and the group perspective of it, I was very sort of put back a little bit. To be honest with you, I was really concerned about, okay, how is this going to work? I was also doing it with people I worked with, peers, subordinates, people that report to me. So how does that kind of fit together? All those fears went away very quickly. Like we went through an intensive sort of 3-day process. It was sort of the initial version of it, where we did a condensed process, and it was amazing. We spent 10 hours a day together, built some very long-lasting bonds. And all my worries that I was worried about was the complete opposite. What I gained was a huge amount of support, and other people that I can now go to and talk to as a friend, as a coworker, and be able to discuss these things. And you don't feel alone. You don't feel isolated, like like I did previously, when I thought, man, am I the only one going through this? But going through BOSS really allowed me to see that the power of opening yourself up and what kind of impact you can have on somebody else that might be struggling. And that was huge for me. And my thought process is, if I can even make a difference for one person by sharing my story or opening myself up, I think that's so important. When I think about talking about mental health, the only things I would like to say to people that are out there is, don't be afraid. Don't feel alone. Understand that certainly there's support out there. I know when times are really bad for me personally, I honestly thought I was never going to make it back. When I was at rock bottom, I thought, you know what, I'm never going back to work. I'm never going to have the same life that I had before, just with pure anxiety, depression. There was days when I didn't even think I could get out of bed, let alone do anything else. But I'm here to tell you guys today that with the proper support, the proper help, you can come back from even the worst times. And in fact, be better than you were before. For me, the BOSS program is an incredible program to support your mental health, and something that I think all people should have access to. The BOSS program allows like people to be able to connect and talk about some of the struggles in their life, and create a support network, and also give you the tools to be able to manage your mental health.